without question, it starts with the ownership of data. It starts with, we're only as good as yesterday. We're only as good as the last 6 months or 12 months. We now need to be preparing ourselves for the next 12 months rather than relying on historical data all the time. And that becomes, that changes the way that you think about it. If a business decides, no, we have to now trust the data, and if it makes that decision because they see that as the key point of difference for them versus their competitors, then what you tend to see, first of all, you see data ownership coming through to a single point, and it is always a board role.
Okay.
That has ownership of that data. They're called all sorts of different things. Chief Technology Officer.
Chief Data Officer.
Chief Data Officer. Okay. Sometimes everything is seen as customer data, whatever form it is, because ultimately the customer is at the end of that process. So it sits under the customer data manager or whatever it is. But that role then starts writing the data strategy. Often businesses don't have a data strategy. They have data and they use it, but there is no data strategy. Once you start bringing in the right roles, very, very experienced people who have done this before across different businesses, then you write a strategy. And of course, with every business, a strategy then leads to actions and specifics and investment, and everything comes down from that. But it can only start when the company has made the decision to say, we are not learning from our data, and we absolutely have to, and therefore we need to increase the prominence of this up to top 3 for what we're going to focus on in 2026.
In the sectors that you supervise, that you look at, have you seen some interesting strategies in terms of, as you mentioned, data strategies? Have you seen interesting ways of coordinating these maybe siloed data sets into one coherent, cohesive roadmap or blueprint?
I've seen lots of bad examples.
Okay.
I've seen lots of lost...
They're interesting as well. They're interesting as well.
I've seen lots of lost opportunities where you think, why aren't you reacting? You know that's happening. You know that's a trend. Everybody knows that's a trend. You ask anybody, you know it's a trend. Why aren't you doing it? Why is it not on the website at least? Or why aren't you talking about it? So many examples of lost opportunity.